Hey, we're back. Actually, I wasn't going to come back, but um, there's been a very old cold case in Sydney. It had a breaking news come in the last hour, and it's a pretty big one actually. This one is one of the weirdest cases that have. Well, they're all weird, but this one's bizarre. The the outline for this one is a husband and wife were at home one evening, and according to the only living person, which is the husband, a masked intruder broke into their home, knocked him out cold, and then when he woke up, his wife was dead, and they had stolen his vehicle. And they tied him up, and he finally got himself free and called the cops, and he just can't believe that his wife is gone. It never made a lot of sense. There was no breaking into that they could find, and they were still trying to figure out some sort of piece of key evidence. I went through one of the coronial inquests that we have down here, and that didn't really resolve anything. All it did was said that the story that they were given to police didn't make a lot of sense, but there wasn't enough there to charge anyone. Fast forward, what is it like? Almost 25 years later, 30 years later, the police put out a $1 million reward last year for information. And then a year later, they have now made an arrest of the husband. The husband has been arrested this morning, and he is facing one count of murder. Now, very interesting. Very interesting. I feel like a lot of the family felt this way for a long time, and it's probably very frustrating to them that they had to wait this long for some sort of resolution. And they're saying here a man has been arrested 25 years after the alleged murder of a woman in Sydney's eastern suburbs. The 81-year-old man was arrested at 10:15 a.m. on Thursday following the death of Denise Govender. That's the way they pronounce her name, but it's got an E in it. Of Dover Heights in March 1998, emergency services responded to reports of a home invasion where they located the body of the 53-year-old woman. Police were told the occupants, Miss Govender and her 55-year-old husband, had been assaulted by a man who broke into their home claiming to be a police officer. It is alleged the unknown man then struck the 55-year-old man, knocking him out before restraining him with cable ties. A $1 million reward was offered in 2023 to help police solve the cold case mystery. The 81-year-old man was arrested on Thursday and is expected to be charged with murder. There's a photo of the victim back in 1998, and her family have done quite a lot of press sort of like press conferences to try and get more information. The husband only ever did one press conference between 1998 and today. He never ever spoke publicly except for very shortly after the murder occurred, he did a public address. Since then, he's never spoken about it. Not once. He won't speak to media, won't speak to anyone. And today he was arrested. It is my birthday today. Yes, it is. Hold on. So very, very good news for the family. I think it's okay. Yeah, so that broke in like the last hour that he'd been arrested. I'm going to show you something from about a year ago. Where is it? It's a video from when they upped the reward, and it has some interesting video in it that I think you guys would like to see some context. If I can find it. I'm sure I can. Where is it? Here.
$1 million reward to help crack a cold case that's baffled Sydney's eastern suburbs for 25 years. Denise Govinda was bashed to death at her Dover Heights home in 1998, with the coroner naming her husband as a suspect.
At his Blaxland home today, Denise Govinder's former husband was tight-lipped. Is it time to just clear this all up? But as he reached for the paper, what do you want to say about the reward? Other relatives were delighted. A million fresh reasons for someone to come forward.
I spoke with Denise on the night she died. Very happy she was leaving an unhappy marriage. This happiness was robbed from her.
I came to visit her that night, and I won't ever forget the hug that I got that night.
The 53-year-old was found dead in her Dover Heights home in 1998. Her husband raised the alarm, telling police there'd been an intruder who'd knocked him out and restrained him with cable ties. But a coronial inquest found there was circumstantial evidence to suggest Aaron was complicit in his wife's death, just not to prove it beyond reasonable doubt.
Despite a thorough and extensive investigation by police at the time, no one has ever been charged.
We spoke with Aaron Govender on the phone today, telling him about the reward. At first he said it's about time. He then said police hadn't told him anything about it, and then said he didn't want to speak about it anymore, meaning that the brief press conference he did in 1998 is the only time he's fronted the media.
Somebody out there probably knows something. I can't say anymore.
Police and Denise's family now hoping someone comes forward to break a long silence. Evan Batten, 7 News.
You know, I think it's very telling when the police don't inform a partner when something so significant like a $1 million reward is about to be offered to the public for information in your wife's death. They didn't even bother calling him and talking to him about it. He only found out when he watched it on TV or when the press came to his home. I think that is extremely telling. It tells you what the police think happened. They don't want to tip him off at all, and they don't want him connected into the inner circle of the investigation because the investigation is looking at him. Yeah, good news. I think it would be nice to have this over and done with about 20-something years ago because I think it was really obvious. I think a lot of people just knew that no one had broken in and nothing had been taken. Why would they break in and just beat up two middle-aged people? It doesn't make any sense. So he said his car was stolen. They did end up recovering that car about 1.7 kilometers away or 1.3 kilometers away in another suburb a few days later after the incident. So I would like to see, well, actually, if you take what he said as gospel, right? He said that he was knocked out and it took him a while to regain consciousness. If this was true, the police should have found him in that state, right? But if he was lying, he could have easily gone and moved that car between the time that he killed his wife. He could have then moved the vehicle, tied himself up, and then, I don't know, some hours later, called the cops or whatever. I mean, it's not that far-fetched. And back in 1998, you're probably not going to find too many CCTV cameras or traffic cameras, that type of thing. I think it's, it's pretty, you'd be very unlucky to be hit by a traffic camera in 1998. They just weren't that available. And if they were, the quality wasn't great. And they probably couldn't tell who was driving, that type of thing. Yeah, good news, hey? It's always nice when we get a cold case. We've had a whole bunch of them. They're just falling like an avalanche right now. And here's the official police statement from New South Wales Police. They're saying homicide squad detectives have arrested a man following the continued investigation into the alleged murder of his wife Denise in Dover Heights 25 years ago. Just after 2 a.m. on Tuesday the 10th of March 1998, emergency services responded to the reports of a home invasion on Dover Road in Dover Heights, where they located the body of a 53-year-old Denise. On arrival, police were told the occupants of the home, a then 55-year-old man, and Denise had been assaulted by an unknown man who broke into their home by claiming to be the police. Hey, I'm the police. Let me in so I can beat you up. and not steal anything. I just want to keep your car. Don't think so. Maybe today that happens quite a lot, but don't know about in 1998. They said it is alleged the unknown man struck the male occupant, rendering him unconscious before restraining him with cable ties. The unknown man then allegedly proceeded to seriously assault Denise and then fled in the car, which was a white Ford 1997 Laser sedan. The male occupant of the home called police after he allegedly regained consciousness, and officers attached to the eastern suburbs commenced an investigation under Strike Force Gulag. And then it says 11 days later, on the 21st, detectives located and recovered the alleged stolen car in Rose Bay, about 1.7 kilometers from their home. A subsequent coronial inquest held between 2005 and 2008 confirmed that Denise died as a result of blunt force head injury intentionally inflicted by a person or persons unknown. And then in November 2023, the homicide squad working with the New South Wales government announced a $1 million reward for information that led to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for her murder. And then it says, following further inquiries by the homicide squad's unsolved homicide team, about 10:15 a.m. this morning, Strike Force detectives arrested the 81-year-old man at Springwood Police Station, where he is expected to be charged with murder. Investigation under Strike Force Gulag continues. There you go. Another one in the books. It is always welcome news to see a family relieved of uncertainty, because that's what they've been living with for 25 years. And they had to live with like the did he, didn't he for 2.5 decades. I mean, that would kill most people to have to do that. Like, and there's been other cases that I know of where there's been families that have been torn apart by allegations of that the person was involved in a loved one's murder, and it's this one turned out to be true, but there's been others where later on it's turned out to be false. That person was never involved, and for 20 or more years, their family basically disowned them. So it's a very awful thing to live through as a family. Can go one way or the other. Hey Lux, how are you? Thank you, I appreciate it. Kathy Lynch says, happy birthday. Thank you. It's very nice of you. Retired Aaron says, I hope you do something fun for your birthday besides hanging out with us. Well, tomorrow I'm going out to dinner tomorrow night. It's a Thursday night here. Everyone's busy and, stuff like that. And tired. It's a work day. So we're going out tomorrow night, which is fine. I'm not 8 years old. I don't need to have a birthday party on my actual birthday, or like, how kids get really caught up in that. Like they have to have it on their birthday because that's the only day it counts, apparently. Your birthday has magical powers. So no, I'm good. I never ask to do anything anyway. Everyone wants to do something and I'm always like, I don't care. We can do whatever. Whatever you guys want to do, that's fine. That's basically what happened. They rang me the other day. They're like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't care. You guys do whatever you want to do. And they're like, we'll go out to dinner. I was like, sure. They're like, what restaurant? I'm like, I don't know. Whatever one you like. Whatever one you guys like going to. Sounds good. Yeah. I'd rather them just, go to a restaurant they like. And JDR says you are a Leo. Yeah. I know. Actually, they were asking me. They're like, "Do you want to have like a big party?" And I was like, "No." I'm like, I'm not a big party person. I really don't want to do like 4 hours of like hanging out at a hall. I'm like, a dinner sounds much better. Can eat dinner, see everyone, say hi, catch up. That's about it. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of those giant hall parties. They're always long and tedious, and unless you've got a whole heap of booze, it's not going to be that much fun. Hold on. Okay. All right. So there we go. That is that one in the books. By the way, I'm going to address this now. I wanted to get through that story first. Michelle says, I called her a liar. No, I didn't. I just said that what you mentioned to me, I couldn't find. Didn't say that you were lying. I just said I couldn't find it. That's not the same thing. I just meant at the time, I went to the 2 web pages that the people in chat gave me that said it had the information. I couldn't see it, and I even put it on the screen that it wasn't on that page. I'm not saying that you're a liar, just saying it wasn't on the page I could find. So because I don't think in the entire time I've been on this channel, I've ever called anyone anything in the chat. Never. I don't think I've ever done that, except for the guy who came in here and trolled the chat with political stuff. I told him to go F himself and then banned him. But other than that, it doesn't happen. So I can assure you I did not call you a liar because I've never done that. But I can tell you that the website that I was given just didn't have the news article relating to that girl. It just didn't. I don't know if it just I don't know. Don't know if people in the chat gave me the wrong website or whatever, but the one that I was on didn't have it. I'll check it again. The only so like the only one that I can see that would be even related is that one. But I don't think this is the same story. This is about a 29-year-old woman, and the other one we were talking about is, I think, like a teenager. So I can't even see anything here. Top stories: woman 82, Democrat, severely burnt body. That's an interesting one. Any update here? No. Infant girl, picnic, local news. Let's check the local news. Brooklyn community holds annual memorial. No, but that's closer. We do want Brooklyn. Here, anything down here? Oh, yeah, we're getting a lot of Brooklyn. Good. Brooklyn, Brooklyn, Brooklyn. Anything more? £360 of cocaine found in the bed of a truck. What? Where do you get £360 of cocaine from? Yeah, apparently the value of the cocaine was $4.5 million. That is a lot of cocaine. That is a lot of coke. They also uncovered 30 grand in cash in the bed of a tractor trailer. Apparently a tractor trailer having that much coke in it. That is a lot of coke. Yeah, look, WPIX doesn't have it, unfortunately. Or if they do, I can't find it. So, there we go. Oh, really? Okay. What did Trish do? Hey, Rachel. Rachel says, Ping, you are always kind and thoughtful of people's feelings. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you to say. All right, let's see what else we have in our breaking news. Apparently they have more stuff here about Sophie Wang. They have, what are they saying? Here's Sophie. She was unfortunately killed by her mother the other night. Let's see, what are they talking about? They're saying on the clothesline of Sophie's house, they have her school uniform, and they're saying how tragic that is to be able to see her school uniform just hanging up there, waiting for her to wear to school the next day. It is very sad. People leaving flowers for her family. You gotta think. Could you imagine being that father and finding her? That would have been so hard to find your daughter with her throat cut and just not living anymore. I mean, that must have been traumatizing. Here's the dad. This is dad. This is Sophie's father. And he's apparently an associate professor. And he came home from work and found his daughter in that state. It's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Lux says, that little girl is so adorable. I know. I think it'd be nice to find out, like, why what happened with the mum. Now, there was some news that came out yesterday about in the hours before she allegedly killed her daughter, she had been posting on social media these sort of religious themed TikToks, but they were all in Cantonese. And she was talking about how Christ was the embodiment of the human man and stuff, like really weird stuff to do with like Christianity and stuff like that. Very, very odd. And no one's quite sure what she meant by it. So people are not sure if she was having a bit of a like a mental health scenario or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, the poor dad. I feel sorry for him too. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, that's sort of what it's sounding like. It's sounding like the mum had some sort of, from what I heard, that she has past psychiatric issues. That was a known thing in the community, that she had been suffering from something, don't know what, but some sort of mental health issues for a period of time. How long that is, I don't know. What the condition is, I don't know. But that's the information that was going around at one point. Let me see. She's been remanded in custody, by the way. She will not be getting out anytime soon. Yeah, here, Sky News. Police investigate strange TikToks posted by Sophie Wang's mother just hours before she allegedly slashed the 10-year-old girl's throat at her Gold Coast home. And it says here, Queensland police are investigating a series of strange TikToks published by the mother just hours before she allegedly killed her 10-year-old daughter. Neighbors reportedly heard haunting cries from the family's Gold Coast home as the father found his daughter. How terrible. Let me see. And then they actually found her. You saw those videos I played. It was pissing down raining. They found her just standing in a street, like a block away, just in the rain, just standing there. She was probably drenched. So I'm gonna, yeah, here. Sophie's 46-year-old mother faced Southport Magistrates Court on Wednesday, where questions about her well-being were batted away by authorities, who refused to say whether mental health issues had played a role in the alleged killing. She said, "I'm not going to go into whether there's mental health concerns or not, because it's not a matter of discussion at this time." However, it's understood that the TikTok videos and other social media posts are now being examined by investigators as they attempt to understand the mother's motives. In the TikToks, the mother, who is understood to be highly religious, can be heard muttering in Chinese about Satan. The 46-year-old also repeatedly speaks about the true God and the Christian Holy Trinity. Reports have suggested the family was not known to child safety authorities, although Queensland Department of Child Safety has not commented on the case, citing privacy laws. The horrific killing has rocked the small community, with tributes for the 10-year-old pouring in from neighbors and elsewhere. They said, "I couldn't believe what happened because we are a very tight, loving community. She was very nice. She was one of the smartest kids in our school. She really cared about a lot of people," according to one of her classmates. There you go. So yeah, definitely there was some sort of something weird going on with the mum, obviously. Marylander says my granddaughter is 10 today. Happy birthday to her from Ping. I like her. She gets a high five from Ping because we share the same birthday. High five, Marilyn Landis' granddaughter. You know, the unfortunate thing about people from some ethnicity backgrounds, like Chinese or Asian, Indian, Indonesian, Japanese, a few others, even like our friends from the the Middle East and stuff like that, mental health problems are not like a real thing. And I don't know how to explain it to you unless you come from that sort of family, but they just don't believe in it. Like it's just not a real thing. Unfortunately, we have some people in our family that are like this, and they just don't believe in it. They just don't believe that it's a real illness or that it's like something that can affect you. They just think, oh, you're just sad or you're just happy or like you know, it's really hard to explain, but they just don't believe in it. It's just something that to them it's not a real illness and it's not talked about. Definitely you don't go see a psychiatrist or anything. Like that's not they think it's like witchcraft, like it's not a real thing. And I wonder if there was some of that going on here because I know growing up in I actually grew up in an Asian family. I know it sounds really weird to you, but my next door neighbor when I grew up was Asian and we spent our entire childhoods together. And I often lived in his house for like days at a time. And I know the way they operate. And yeah, they would just tell you to stop being stupid and get back to work or get back to your schoolwork or whatever. They just yeah, same in our family. We have some people in our family that are of an older generation that just they just don't think it's a real thing at all. Nanalana says I can't watch the Daybell news either. Is there any Daybell news? I don't think I've done anything on the Daybells in like 8 months or something. Oh, since Chad was found guilty. I haven't done any. I don't know. Haven't followed anything to do with it. Once we got the guilty plea, I'm like, I'm done. That's it. Oh, here, look at this. This is the bed of the truck. I want to show you that. Look at all this cocaine. Ah, that is a lot of. What's with this one? There's like a little brown one that's like much smaller than the rest of them. Here. There's one here, look. Oh no, there's a few of them. Oh, they come in packets of 1 kilo blocks. Okay. Wow, you'd be the you could make a rap video with that and you'd be like the talk of the town. You'd be like, I got bricks and I only deal in half tons. I'm the coolest rapper on earth. I only deal in tons of coke. I don't know where the cash is. They don't have a photo of that. But there was $30,000 also located in the same raid on the property. So, but that is pretty crazy. That is a lot of cocaine. Lux says some in my family were the same. We had to hide the fact we needed antidepressants or help. Yeah, we have that in our family. They would bemoan you if you told them you were taking something to make you feel better. They'd just be like, you just haven't eaten enough, or you're not eating enough of the right food and stuff like that. Danny says Laurie's going to trial in Arizona. Good. I hope they keep her there in an unconditioned, no air conditioning jail cell for 35 years. That'd be great. And then send her back to Idaho. Let her have a non-heated cell in Idaho in winter for like 900 years. She's never getting out, guys. She's never seeing the light of day. I promise. She's never going to see the free world ever. She will die in prison. She's never going to get back out. Same with Chad Loser Daybell. He ain't ever getting out either. He is well, he not getting out. Didn't he get sentenced to death? He ain't never coming home. He ain't never getting out. Rachel says, I grew up with a schizophrenic father and he was only medicated the last few years of his life. It was tough. You know, I actually grew up in one of the homes I lived in when I was younger and had to live in youth housing. One of the houses I lived in had a schizophrenic girl that lived there. And I don't think it was her fault, but far out, she made everyone's life a nightmare. Um, she would often have really vivid hallucinations, and she actually, I'm guessing that she must have been SA'd at some point in her life. She must have had some sort of trauma from being SA'd, because she would accuse every male under the sun of SAing her or R-wording her. Like, I'm not kidding, like workers, mailmen, visitors, other people, she would just accuse them. And it happened quite frequently. So, and I don't, like I said, I don't think she meant it. I think she just had really vivid hallucinations, but often the people she accused would have to go into isolation until they could disprove the claims she was making, because she was a child, so they had to take it seriously. Even though she was schizophrenic, they still had to take her claims as if they were real. And they did that every time. And every time the person had to be isolated and go away and wait until the investigation was complete. So, yeah, I lived with her for about a year. About a year, I had her in the same home. Nice girl when she was normal. She was very, very nice, but she just would, on the drop of a hat, would just be very different. Very different. Wonder what she's doing today. Wonder if she's even alive, actually. I would worry. Let's see what Mamta's up to. Remember that missing woman with the crazy husband who seems very not caring that his wife is missing? Let's see what's going on. It says here Wednesday marks 2 weeks since a Manassas Park or yeah, okay. Manassas Park, Virginia mother went missing, leaving community members concerned for her welfare. Several dozen people gathered for a press conference outside the police department Wednesday afternoon, wanting more answers from authorities about their investigation into her disappearance. She was last seen on July 31st, and police said it is believed she did not leave on her own accord. Her husband spoke to the crowd Wednesday, saying, "Thank you for what you are doing coming here. I need your help in a positive way. Just help us in this tough time." I don't know, buddy. I don't know. I don't know if I believe you. Officers responded to the home on August 2nd after receiving a welfare check request from her employer, and her husband reported her missing on August 5th. See, you wonder why I don't believe you? That's why. Some people at Wednesday's gathering said they want to hear more from police who have not spoken on camera about the investigation. Earlier Wednesday, about a dozen people searched through Blooms Park near her home where she used to walk her infant daughter. Police have done official searches on their own, saying they're investigating all possible circumstances. Police said she hasn't had any contact with family or friends since she went missing. All right, let's see if we've got a video of this press conference. Let's have a look. Here we go.
Department here who can help solve
It's possessed. It's possessed. The video is possessed, apparently.
who not only exists
I don't know what's going on. All right, we may have to find it from somewhere else. That video is not working. Looks like the lady is having a demonic attack. All right, let me see if I can find anything. Let me see if I can find a different source for it. Let's see. That's interesting. I can't. Past 24 hours. Huh. Okay, that's odd. No, I can't. The other link doesn't work. I wonder why. Stop that. Let's try this. Oh, it's the same video. What is wrong with it?
Night. So that night on the Wednesday, they were.
Alright, it seemed to
Hi,
just not
I'm
work. Okay. Seems like it's just the first little bit. Oh, here we go.
In a positive way, just help us. Anta, Kathleen, about to come home. Please help us find her. Thank you.
Yeah, just thank you for what you are doing community, and then please keep doing, and then just I need like your help in a all positive way. Just keep doing what you are doing, and then in a positive way just help us in this tough time. Thank you.
Look, I don't want to be insensitive to this guy. Maybe it's a cultural thing, but as far as I know, in Indian families or people from that region, subcontinent, it's the male in the family, the head male. So in his family, he would be the head male unless his parents are somewhere around. So he would be considered the head male. He is okay to speak on behalf of his family. And I find that so freaking weird that he gave, like, again, 2 words and just left. Bro, like, your wife is missing. Do you not care? Like, why can't you sit in front of that microphone and be like, tell us a few things? Like, she was a great wife. We had a great baby together. The baby misses her. I really want her to come home. You know, I don't know how I can live without her. You know, we've never left each other's sides, even for a day. Instead, he was just like, yeah, I'm very thankful for what you guys are doing, and I'm going now. Bye. That is really concerning. I hope the cops are watching. I hope you are watching, police, and I hope you have your behavioral experts looking into it. I don't know what he does. I'm not sure. We can look it up. Is he a doctor? I don't think so. What's his name? His name is Naresh. Naresh. I don't know what he does. Let's have a look. Here. Let's go to WUSA 9. Apparently he told the news it's like very tough, he said in an interview Wednesday afternoon. WUSA 9 asked him when he last saw or spoke to her. He said they ate dinner together on the night she was last seen. We ate on the evening of Wednesday. She was the one who cooked and do the kitchen stuff. We did not have any specific conversation. We did not have any argument or something like that. So you don't speak to each other? What did you talk about? Like nothing? You just ate food and then acted like housemates? Okay. He told WUSA 9 they've been married for 3 years. He says, she's a special person for me because she's caring and loving. I'm very sad. Okay, Mr. Sad. I hope you can understand why we don't believe you. And I'm the last person who ever jumps on the husband of people. Look at all the other cases where I've told everyone to wait and hold on and just wait. But just something irks me about this guy. And they said here, When WUSA 9 asked her husband what happened the days he last saw her and the day he reported her missing, between the day he last saw her and the day he reported her missing. On the day she did not come back, usually once she left, she came back. She did not come back, and I just searched around. The next day, police came, and police told me she was not at work, and I was very serious because she's the one who would never leave her work. He told WUSA 9 he started talking to officers about how it was not the first time she had gone missing. I started talking to police and they say you've got to search around because it's not the first time it's happened before. Maybe she's hanging with someone, a close friend or family. That's what I did, but I could not find her. Then I say that to the police officer and he say I can file a complaint. I filed a complaint according to that. No. She was reported missing on the 2nd. The police visited you on the 2nd to find her. Why did it take 3 days for you then to go and make that complaint? If this was any normal person, they probably would have done it that day on the 2nd, or even give you the benefit of the doubt that you went and searched around for her for a day on the Wednesday, on the following day, on the 3rd. That's when most people, like, that's their limit. Like, they'd go the next morning and be like, we searched around, we couldn't find her, we checked all her friends, no one knows where she is, we checked all the hospitals, the morgues, and the freaking, every veterinarian around too. We just checked them just in case. And we can't find her. I need to make a missing person report. So her friend said that she would never leave her baby. And if she was going to leave, she would have taken the child with her, not left the baby there. So I find something a little off about this. Yeah, I don't believe she would leave the child either. No. No way. And I think there's something odd. Let me sort of break it down for you. He says they had a normal evening together and they ate dinner. She cooked dinner and then went missing. If she was going to go missing, why would she cook for him? If she wanted to get away from him, why would she make him dinner? I can't imagine any woman who's like, I want to get away from my crappy husband. I can't imagine her cooking dinner. I think most women would be like, cook your own effing dinner. I don't think they'd be like, I'm going to cook you a nice meal. We're going to sort of hang out for a few hours and then I'm going to go. I think she just would never have come home and taken the child with her, like while he wasn't in the property. I think she would have just picked up the child, left the house, and let him come home to an empty house. The ordering of events is very odd. I don't know why they would eat dinner together and then she'd just disappear. Rachel says, why would he say she's done this before? Yeah. So she's gone missing for 2 weeks. You know what it's like? It's like that guy at the dock. You remember that? And the guy at the dock's like, oh yeah, she does this sometimes. What, you mean she gets up in the middle of the night to go to the toilet and then ties a rope around her neck and then jumps off the dock? I don't think so. That guy ended up being arrested for the murder of his girlfriend. So, yeah, and the kitchen stuff. And I'll clean the kitchen too. And I won't have any conversation with you at all. Yeah, there's something just... Look, I'm not saying he did anything, but there's just something off. There's just something just weird. It doesn't make any sense. The waiting time to report her missing after police had already visited him, saying that his wife wasn't at work. Then him saying that they had dinner together on the night she was last seen. Here, he said when asked when he last saw or spoke to her, he said they ate dinner together on the night she was last seen. We ate on the evening of Wednesday. She was the one who cooked and do the kitchen stuff. We do not have any specific conversation. We do not have any argument or something like that. Oh, okay. No offense to my ladies in the chat, but I've never known a woman who didn't want to talk about what's going on that day over dinner. Like, unless she's stressed out and pissed off or tired, they're going to want to know what you did that day, or they're going to want you to ask them what they did that day. I can't imagine they just sit there in silence. Never ever. Yeah, they said they'd been married for 3 years. That's a pretty early marriage. It's not a very long marriage. It's pretty short. She's a special person for me because she's caring and loving. I'm very sad. You look very sad. I pick it up in your videos. I pick it up with your short statements and, you know, curt comments. I pick it up, the sadness.
On top of a story we have been covering for days now. Where is Mamta Kapilbat? The young mother has been missing for more than 2 weeks, and our team has been talking with her friends as they search Manassas Park for any sign of Mamta. Our Katie Lusso joins me now. And Katie, tonight you were able to talk with the woman's husband. What is he telling you?
Well, her husband told me tonight she's disappeared before, but never for this long. Manassas Park police tonight say they believe she did not leave on her own.
Do you have any idea where she could be at this point?
Yeah, wherever, like, I have doubted, I already, personally, I carry my baby, and then personally I went there.
Naresh Bhatt says it's not the first time his wife of 3 years, Mamta Kapilbat, has disappeared. In fact, he told WUSA 9 she's left their Manassas Park home 3 times in the past.
At that time, we never called police, at that time, altogether 3 times, she went out. At that time, she has a demand because our parents were here, and then she said, she want to send parents back.
But he says she's never been gone this long. He says they ate dinner together the night of July 31st.
It was like normal day, we were taking care of our babies.
That night after dinner, he says he took their baby upstairs and went to sleep. He says that was the last time he saw her. Police say it's the last time anyone saw her.
So she never came to sleep, though.
Yes, he came. I heard noise, something like that. She came, she was here doing dishes and then stuff like that. I heard that.
They would sometimes sleep separately, he said, so as not to wake the baby when they got up for work. But the next day, August 1st, police say she didn't show up to work at Inova Fairfax Hospital. On the 2nd, police went to the home and spoke with her husband. He says they told him to keep searching for her since she's gone missing before and call them if he still couldn't find her. On August 5th, he filed a missing persons report. Since then, her friends and neighbors have conducted their own searches. Wednesday afternoon, some expressed their frustrations with her husband, questioning the delay in reporting her missing to them. He says it's he who is suffering in all of this.
My baby and then myself, we are suffering the most.
What do you say to her if she's watching this right now?
If she is watching, come back, whatever is the issue, we can fix it.
Remaining adamant Wednesday night that he doesn't know where she is.
You don't know where she is at all? No idea?
No idea.
Now, her friends have organized another search for tomorrow. They've also launched a GoFundMe page to fund their search efforts. If you have any information about her disappearance, Manassas Park Police.
There's something so cold about the way he talks and how flippant he is about comments or questions or, you know, accusations. Like when they said, "Oh, but she didn't come back to bed," he's like, "Oh yeah, but I saw something up here, around here. There might have been a UFO, something up here. She was around here somewhere. I heard a noise. It might have been over there or over here or down here, but I heard it. It was around here." I don't like people who talk around in circles like that. When people get questioned like that, it always concerns me when they either repeat information, repeat words, or try to go around in a circle. So, right, there's something, it's almost like you're bothering him by asking him about his wife. And it's almost like arrogance or something like that, like annoyance. Look, maybe he's 100% innocent. I don't know, but there's just something odd, just something off. Just come home. It was such a heartfelt plea, Sean. What do you mean? I mean, I felt the love. Did you not feel the love? I felt the love. I did. I felt it. You can tell he cannot live a day without her. I felt that in his message, his 3-word message, just come home. If I was the police, I'd be getting warrants for any electronic devices for their home, any electronic devices like cell phones, and I would be digging into anything like divergence of like, does his cell phone ever leave? Does hers? Is there any time they came together? Does his timeline match up when their phones meet? So she must have come home from work at some point. Doesn't match with his timeline he gave to police. And do those phones ever leave each other after coming home that evening? And if they do, where did they go? So it takes some time. It'll take some time for warrants and subpoenas to go through. But I hope that's where they're going, to try and find some answers. Right. He's just like, I just want to get on with my life with my baby. And don't worry about that crazy woman. I'm not sure. Do they have where are they? Oh, they're from Virginia, but I don't know their actual nationality or background. I would have thought Hyderabad with the last name, but I might be wrong. I'm not very good with, that sort of nationality. Let's see. Oh, I was way off. Oh, not way off, but a little bit off. They're from Nepal. They're from Nepal. It says here, Bhatt is a native of Nepal and has been living in the United States since 2021. All of her family except her husband and child live in Nepal. So all her family is back home in Nepal. Nepal, people who live in Nepal are either Hindu or Christian? I'm not 100% sure. I know there's a couple of religions. Why answer the door to a reporter? Yeah, not sure. Yeah, his behavior, I mean, it could be just a terrible trauma response. It could be. And I don't want to nail the guy to the floor for everything, but I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, my knowledge on their culture is very slim, unfortunately, and I don't want to. Danny says I'm not 100 on him. You're not keeping it 100 with him. You mean you're not 100%? You think it's him? Fair enough. Hey man, I think she could have just run away, but I do find it really strange that all her friends said like her baby was her life, like they're like that child was everything to her. And I'm just not sure she would leave. If the baby was gone too and she was gone, I'd be like, she just left his ass and she's hiding somewhere. But the fact that baby was left behind, it doesn't instill any hope. Yeah, that's very interesting because normally, from what I know, they would speak to the man reporter more than the female reporter. Female reporter probably wouldn't get anything out of him. Out of people from that culture because they're not supposed to speak to women on their own. You lived next door to a Nepalese family for many years. I haven't met any, to be honest. I haven't met any in Australia. I mean, not that I know of. I may have, but I haven't met any. I'm sure they are lovely, but something is a bit off here. Something's a little bit hinky. What is it? I don't know. The thing that bothers me is the whole 2nd of August to the 5th of August. That's what bothers me because like I said earlier, I can't see a loving husband waiting that long. I mean, I just can't see it. I would be calling the cops like 5 hours after she was supposed to be home. Not even, like 3 hours. 3 hours is the max. So I'd be like, if I couldn't contact her, I couldn't find her, I couldn't ring her phone, and I knew she was supposed to be home at 6 p.m., I'd be at the police station at 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, I'd be there making a report saying, hey, she's always home by like 6 o'clock or 20 past or something like that, unless she calls me and lets me know that she's got to go pick something up or do something and it's 9 o'clock, she's not there, I can't reach her, her phone doesn't ping, I can't get the find my phone thing, she's not at her mum's. I'd be at the police station at 9 o'clock. Yeah. Maybe he feels the female reporter would be easier to manipulate. I could see that. Hey Gail, how are you, my friend? It's good to see you. Well, I hope she's been missing for almost for 2 weeks now. That's a long period of time to be missing. And by the way, I want to thank all the people who went to my social media and shared her missing poster. If you haven't done that yet, I'm going to put it in the chat. This is a link to my Twitter. Please head there and retweet the missing poster for Mamta. Yeah, it would be helpful to keep her name in the press. It really would. Yeah, she's only little, right? 5 feet tall. Yeah, 5 feet tall, 132 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, dark brown eyes. But you know what gets me? The police, what did they say she is? She's involuntary missing. She did not go missing on her what? On her own. Who else was in the home that night where she was located? Like was it the husband and the family or something? His mum and dad or something? That's it. So okay, I get it. I've got it. Ping is the best detective in the world. I've figured it out. Get this. I'm going to set the scene. It's after dinner. The dishes have been completed. She's done them. She's done her housework for the day. She's had a great dinner. They start getting ready for bed. She's going to check on the baby one more time. And then a ninja pops out of nowhere, wraps her up in a dark blanket so no one can find them in the dark, and then just like uses his ninja skills to get out of the home and Spider-Man his way across the city, never to be seen again. That's it. I've done it. That's it. Wrap it up. Find Spider-Man / ninja, and you found your perpetrator. Danny Mitchell says, what do the cops know? Some sort of forensics? I don't know. The cops just said that they just don't believe she went missing voluntarily. Well, I don't have Facebook. I only have Twitter. Kathy says, I knew it was a ninja. It's always a ninja. It's either a ninja or UFO. That's all it is. Who's messaging me? That was Grammy. Thanks, Grammy, for retweeting that. I appreciate it. Let's try to keep her name out there. And yeah, she's been entered into the missing person database as involuntary. Involuntary missing. It's the aliens. They're going to come for you. All right. Let's see. Let's go to ABC News. They posted a story about her only 2 hours ago. That's a very short video.
Tonight, authorities are searching for a missing mother in Manassas Park, Virginia. Police say Mamta Kafalbat vanished from her home 2 weeks ago. Her husband reporting her missing 5 days after she was last seen, according to authorities. Her husband now pleading for her return.
Thanks for that, ABC. That was so enlightening. That was like the most informative video ever. Let's see, anything here about her? Here's her friends with a missing poster. So she works as a registered nurse, according to her friend and former colleague, Sunita. Sunita told the ABC Arlington office the two bonded over both being from Nepal and that she was a mentor to Mamta. She attended an event Tuesday in the park to raise awareness for her friend's disappearance and press for updates. She said there has been no clue what is going on adding that she's been waiting 2 weeks for news on her friend. According to the police department, she was entered into the law database immediately, and detectives immediately started investigating the case. Another friend, Nadia, who organized Tuesday's gathering, told WJLA that it is unlike the mother to leave her 11-month-old daughter. Even if she was desperate, even if she might have been facing something, she wouldn't have left her daughter. She was very self-sacrificial in that way, no matter what would have been happening. ABC was unable to reach her family. Her husband spoke to a crowd gathered in support of Mamta on Monday by phone, saying he couldn't attend because he was caring. Her husband spoke to a crowd gathered in support of Mamta on Monday by phone, saying that he couldn't attend because he was caring for their daughter. Just when we give you the benefit of the doubt, you pull us back in. I mean, so you couldn't attend a rally to look for your wife who's been missing for 2 weeks because you have an 11-month-old daughter. You know that women have been doing this for thousands of years, walking around with little kids. You see them. We have these giant buildings that we built specifically for mums to congregate at and have a coffee. They're called shopping centers and malls. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but if you go there sometimes during the week, you'll see them there. They all congregate. It's like a meeting point for them. And they all have little children, all of them. And they seem to be able to get out and about just fine. So you couldn't attend a rally for your own wife who's missing because you have the child and you're looking after it. Sure, I get that. He told the crowd, I need to find her as soon as possible. And then using all the tools, community, society, police, he told the crowd, you could just use your great thinking powers, and I'm sure you'll come up with something. She's described as 5 feet tall, 132 pounds, has black hair and dark brown eyes. She was last seen wearing her blue nurse's scrubs, so the uniform that nurses wear to work. That's concerning too. The fact that she was still wearing her workwear. If she wasn't going to work and she'd come home from work, unless she was doing a night shift as a nurse, that is really concerning. But I don't think she was, because the hospital reported her missing the next day when she didn't turn up for work. That tells me she got home from work that evening and she still hadn't changed out of her workwear. The first thing a lot of ladies do when they get home is they just want to get out of their work clothes. Like guys do it too. They just want to get out of it. They're like, I've been wearing this crap all day. All I want to do is get out of it. And I find that very surprising that she cooked and ate dinner and cleaned up the kitchen, all while wearing her work uniform. I can't imagine that either. That sounds very odd. I know, right? She came home and cooked. What a great husband. I know. I don't know what he does. Did we ever find out? Did I say something before? Hold on, let me have a look. Oh, he works in IT. No. Her husband, Naresh Bhatt, said she works in healthcare. He now works in IT, so he's an IT worker. He works in IT. So he works in computers. Scrubs are comfy. Yeah, but not after you've been wearing them all day. I mean, if you had home ones that you're like, hey, these are old and I just want to change into them and wear them around the house. But after you've been tending to people all day long and cleaning up stuff in a hospital, you really want to have that around your child. And I would have thought a nurse would have wanted to get them off and into a disinfectant in the washing machine as soon as possible. I thought they would want to wash them quickly. The only joke I know about women getting home from work is that the first thing they'd rather do, talk to your husband or take off your bra. And I heard that take off your bra is like 95% of the answer, according to the US population. Yeah, they carry all the germs. Yeah. Not the bra, the scrubs. Yeah, I know. Use a stroller, right? Yeah, wouldn't they be the first ones, like, she'd call if there was any sort of trouble or disturbance at home? Like, she needs a support network outside of the relationship, which would be her friends. So Angela says, "Brah." Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that is the ultimate. It's like guys and a beer after work. They're like, "I just want the beer. Tastes so good." Alright. Oh, wait. Angela, you want me to do that update for the girl? Hold on. Let's see. So apparently a man has been charged over that stabbing of a girl in Leicester Square earlier this week. I'm just trying to grab a video for you. Here, let's go to the Sun. No, that's sorry, that's the wrong one. Sky News, maybe? It's the world's smallest video.
I'm going to bring you some breaking news now because we're hearing that a man in court has been charged with the attempted murder of that girl, the 11-year-old girl in Leicester Square. This is a new image of the man, Yohan Pitari, 32. He's been charged with the possession of a bladed article in a public place, which the court heard was a steak knife. He appeared at Westminster's Magistrates Court this morning and he was wearing a grey prison-issued sweatshirt. We're hearing that the man, 32, is a Romanian citizen with no fixed address and the charges were read to him through an interpreter, and this was during a 10-minute hearing. So that's the very latest there. A man has been charged with the attempted murder of an 11-year-old girl.
A bladed article is UK police speak for a knife. That's what they use in the UK for. What do they use in America? A bladed instrument. So in America, you guys will say on an autopsy report or something like that, they'll say an edged weapon or a bladed instrument. In the UK, they say a bladed article. So that means a knife or a samurai sword or a pair of scissors, you know, something with an edge on it. So yeah, there's your different little things. So he's been charged over that attempted murder of that girl in Leicester Square. Now, according to some reports, apparently that little girl is actually from Australia. I was reading about it the other day. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, she's Australian apparently. If I go to The Guardian. Girl 11 stabbed in Leicester Square attack is Australian, according to the government. So the victim, who remains in hospital, and her mother were visiting London when the incident occurred. DFAT, which is the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, confirmed late Wednesday night. The girl was visiting London with her mother at the time of the attack. She's been hospitalized and will require plastic surgery for the wounds to her face, shoulder, wrist, and neck, according to reports. A DFAT spokesperson said consular assistance was being provided to the two Australians in London. No other details were provided. There you go. So apparently she's a young Australian girl who was visiting London as a tourist. Very sad. It's not a joke. Kathy, do you want to see something? Hold on. One moment. All right.
Melbourne's most wanted man. Now his lawyers say Jonathan Dick is not guilty of murder despite killing his brother with a samurai sword. He's claiming mental impairment as chilling new details of his crime were revealed in court.
Gripping a samurai sword, Jonathan Dick lay in wait for his younger brother. David Dick stepped out of the lift and was struck by a sickening blow. The accused continues to slash and stab him in the head and neck for 66 seconds until his brother stops moving. Leaving behind blood-stained footprints at the Doncaster shopping centre, Jonathan went on the run. He later told a psychiatrist the attack was predestined and he believed he had to kill his sibling to prevent harm falling upon him. Police kept up a manhunt for 2.5 years, the 42-year-old hiding in plain sight, only emerging when police say he attacked his school friend with a pick hammer. That surviving victim spotted Dick stalking him in a Flinders Street car park last August. With another man, they tackled the fugitive to the ground, pinning him there until police finally...
There's a documentary on this guy. If you're at all intrigued by this video, watch it. It is so mental what he put that school friend you see, that fight you see, that was captured on, I think, a Tesla car caught it. This right here, this is his a friend from school that he was friends with. He lay in wait at his steps for him to come out in the morning and go to work, and he tried to attack him with a hammer. And it was caught on. See, he came out of nowhere, and then it started attacking him. So his friend actually was like, "Fine, I'll fight you," and he fended him off. But then he took off up the street. He then, this image here where you see him arrested, he went back on the run, and he started stalking that same friend again. They found him at his workplace in the city, in an underground car park, stalking him and waiting for an opportunity to try kill him again. I mean, it is one of the most crazy stories I've ever heard in true crime. And it really is. I wonder what the documentary's called. I watched it not long ago. It's very, very good. Jonathan Dick. He is a bit of a dick. What is that? Oh, it might be Australian Crime Stories, A Deadly Friendship. So if you can find that, yeah, I think it's that one. Australian Crime Stories, A Deadly Friendship. They have it on Apple TV. And Tubi has it as well, if you have Tubi. Watch the documentary on this guy. It is... I cannot believe it. So after he killed his brother with the samurai sword, he went on the run for over 2 years. He then was stalking other people within his life, including a friend from school. And then he attacked him like you saw with a hammer. He got away, and then he tried to get him again near his workplace in the city and tried to kill him then. But a friend of his at the workplace actually spotted the guy before he did, and they were able to pin him down and get police to come and arrest him. Really, really crazy case. He killed his brother with a samurai sword in a mall parking lot. Just one morning, you see that footage right here at the start. Where is it? Right here. So he rocks up. He's got the samurai sword in this yellow bag, and he pulls it out, and then he hides behind the wall, and he's waiting for his brother to come down. And you can see he's got it up and ready. And as soon as his brother apparently walks out of that lift, he continues to slash and stab him in the head and neck for over a minute until his brother stopped moving. Apparently he had cut him over 60 times with the samurai sword. I can't remember if he called his brother to come down, or he had been watching his brother for a period of time and knew his routine. so he knew when he would be coming down. Evil Alaska says it's on Amazon Prime for free. There you go. Check it out if you can get it on Amazon Prime. If not, it's on Tubi and Apple TV as well. Oh, yes. He has some sort of mental condition. I can't remember if it's schizophrenia or something like that. Paranoid schizophrenia, something like that. But he has, yeah. So he was remanded after his court thing. He's to spend 25 years in a mental health hospital. He was sentenced to 25 years in a secure facility. So, hey Glitter, how are you? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for your email yesterday. I appreciate it. Let's see, what else do we have? Kathy sent me one too. You know, I think this is the one I was going to do the other day and I ended up not doing it. This one from Florida. Is this about the guys diving? Yeah, plantation. Yeah, so there was a mother and a daughter who went missing years ago, 50 years ago or something. And they never found them. But recently they contacted a group very much like Adventures with Purpose, a diving group who had a sonar, and they asked them to help them search an area near where they went missing. And they actually found the vehicle with the child and the mum in the car. I'm going to try and play that for you. It was Doris Worse and her daughter Karen. All right, let's go to NBC Florida, South Florida.
Disturbing discovery in a plantation canal. The volunteer search team believes to have found the remains of a mother and her daughter who vanished 50 years ago. Take a look at these heartbreaking pictures. You're going to see here they have pictures of clothes and toys of that 3-year-old. NBC6 reporter Laura Rodriguez is live from Plantation tonight with the latest on this cold case. Laura.
And this investigation was a joint effort by Plantation Police, the BSO dive team, and Sunshine State Sonar. And that volunteer search team tells me it was very emotional once they realized a child's remains were in that vehicle.
We had absolutely no doubts 100% at that time who it is that we had just found.
It was this Fisher-Price toy and the taillights of a Chevrolet Impala that led Michael Sullivan to alert Plantation Police Saturday. The volunteer diver and founder of Sunshine State Sonar has been looking for Karen and Doris Worst in Broward County waterways for a little more than a year.
The vehicle was so brittle. I mean, as soon as we touched it, my finger went right through the metal.
Doris Worst and her 3-year-old daughter lived about 5 miles from the canal at a mobile home park. They disappeared in November of 1974, along with Doris's Chevy Impala. On Sunday, the BSO dive team recovered the skeletal remains of an adult and a small child inside an Impala near Broward Boulevard and Nob Hill Road. The child's toys and clothing were also recovered, almost intact, 50 years later.
Me and my brother just looked at each other, and it was a pretty emotional moment because it was, to us, it was almost like that was Karen saying, "I'm here, you got me."
Sullivan says the meticulous work by BSO divers was nothing short of miraculous. According to the volunteer diver, all of the windows were rolled up in the vehicle, leading to the recovery of the remains and so many items.
You know, if those windows were down, who knows? You know, who knows what would have happened? Their bodies could have floated out of the vehicle.
Hours after the discovery of the adult and child, the volunteer team also found a Buick submerged in a nearby lake with the remains of an 83-year-old man who was reported missing in 2004.
When you bring clothes to a family like this, it motivates you definitely to keep going.
Plantation Police tells me they're waiting on DNA and dental records to verify that these are the identities of Karen and Doris Worst. They say, though, that they have contacted their family members, letting them know that there's a likelihood that their remains have been found. Reporting live in Plantation, I'm Laura Rodriguez, NBC.
Reminds me very much of when Adventures with Purpose actually were a juggernaut of an organization and did a lot of really good work. It's a real shame what happened there, but hey, I mean, if you're gonna put yourself in the public eye like that, you gotta make sure those skeletons in your closet, you gotta make sure you don't have any, unfortunately. I have no sympathy, unfortunately, but there is some good people who work or used to work for Adventures with Purpose, and I know that they gave a crap what happened to the victims and stuff like that. There was definitely some good people. I think he's still doing the channel, but he basically just has a bunch of bots that comment on every video about how awesome he is, and Adventures with Purpose is amazing, and they're just all bot accounts. They're not real fans. They're just bots posting like all different variations of the same thing. And if you post anything negative or anything related to the court case, they just ban you. And I mean, I get it. You shouldn't probably do that anyway, but you should let the legal process play out. But yeah, basically, he was accused of a historic. What's the word for it? Like a historic sex crime against a relative, and yeah. Angela says, but all the guys quit as soon as they found out. They did, yes, but there's a good bunch of people that worked with that company that weren't him, and it's a shame because a lot of them put a lot of hours, time, days, life into the organization when it was around. Yeah, it was at that one case where they kept trying to go back and back and back and back, and they went back like 50 times trying to find the one guy, and I don't know if they ever got it, but I remember there was one case where they kept trying to get it and get it and get it. There was also another case I heard about him, that they pissed off a family because they were like, "No, no, don't do that. Do it this way because it's better for the camera," and stuff like that. And the family's like, "We're here to find our relative. We're not here to make a TV show." I've heard a few things about it, unfortunately, but I like the work they did originally. I just don't like some of the circumstances I read about, but the actual things they did for victims is a good thing, but the other things surrounding it are bad. Some of the AW oh, do they? Oh, that's good. I haven't seen it, but I'm glad they do. There was some good, like the guy with the big bushy beard, the truck driver that became sort of more into this type of stuff, true crime. He seemed like a pretty good dude. Oh, it was a woman? I think she's a woman now. I don't think she was a woman back then, but I haven't checked into it in a long time, to be honest. Yeah. I haven't seen much of what's going on. So the last update that I can see is from January 2024. They had a preliminary hearing for Jared Lessick, something like that. I mean, I can't. So yeah, they had some sort of preliminary hearing. I'm not sure what happened after that. Apparently there's other things going on. It's a whole mess, unfortunately. Whole mess. Diesel Bros, same guys used to have a TV show. Did they? Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, the case where the family wanted them to act and the family were upset. Yeah, it was a woman. Yeah. And the whole like constantly touching the families. I know that pissed a few people off too. Like Jared constantly like touching them and like pretending to be empathetic with people, but it was like more for show. And apparently victims felt very uncomfortable by some of it. I mean, some of them liked it. and I'm sure they did enjoy the comfort, but some of them felt like it was put on for the cameras. Oh, okay. I'll have to have a look. I've never seen since it all went downhill. I never really watched anything else because it kind of it broke the illusion for me, if that makes sense. It broke the fantasy. So for me, it sort of ruined it, unfortunately. Like it ruined the concept. Yeah, photographers own all their photos. And it should be that way anyway. If you're the one who takes the photo, then it's yours, unless you have a contract that you're working for someone else at the time. I think. I'm not sure. You'd have to know if they have contracts or not. Oh, Nug is working hard to solve cases. Nug is a good guy. Yeah, it's a real shame. It's a real shame. I think they were this close to really hitting like mainstream stardom. Like I'm not even kidding. They were inches away from becoming like household names around the country, crazy like TV shows, living in Hollywood, that type of thing. They were just like 6 months away from it. They were their meteoric rise was not over, and they were very close to becoming real famous people. But it all went backwards because of Jared's court case, unfortunately. Hi, Rory. Hi, girl. What you doing? You come to see Dad? Does this mean Dad's been on the stream for too long? You know it's my birthday. I can stream for however long I want. I can. All right. Come on, baby. Hey. Come on. I'll feed you. It's all right. Yeah. It's a real shame. I think they could have helped a lot of families had they completed that meteoric rise to fame, and I think they could have done a lot. Hi, Rory. Yeah, they could have done a lot of good. But I'm glad to hear there's some other channels that have sprung up from people who used to work there. That's great news. Great news. Were these guys a part of it? The people who did this one? What are they called? They had a name. Where's the link? Where's the link? Hold on. I'll have to grab it. I'm sure they mentioned like a dive group or something. Something like Florida Sonar or something. What were they called? Sunshine State Sonar. Are they a part of it, or were they friends with them? They're a non-profit volunteer search team that uses sonar. Here they are. Rory, baby. I love you, but it's not going to make me finish off this any quicker. You're going to have to wait a minute. You cannot come up and sit on the desk either. All right? Yeah, this is their website. So they've done a bunch of different cases. Kareem Disdale, they did. Maureen Sherman, Eduardo, Gratterall. They've done a bunch of different solved ones. Sarah Dreyer, that one sounds familiar. Sandra Lemire, Karen Moore, Robert Helfrey. I'll have to have a look. I've never seen these guys. Who are their team? Brianna Shook, Demetrius Dixon, John Martin, Mike Sullivan, Leandro Savetti. I can't say I know them, but maybe you guys do. Maybe you guys know some of these people. No, don't recognize them. Hey. What? What? What do you want? Hey, you gotta stop smooching my arm, hey? Don't claw Daddy's jumpers, though. You put holes in Dad's jumper. No association. Okay. Hey, I think we've been on for ages, like far too long. About an hour and a half. Glitter says, it's sad because Jared had a great thing going, but did those guys... Right, he screwed over a bunch of people, and some of the monetary things in the background that I read about very unimpressed about the way he treated people when he was pulling in absolute crap loads of money, and he was pretending like it all had to go on search and rescue and all this type of stuff, and he was literally taking money from other people by not paying them for their services, and then saying like he was taking people's credit cards and stuff to fill up like trucks with fuel and stuff, like people who weren't earning money through Adventures with Purpose. And he'd be like, we can just use your credit card, right? Like that's so scummy. And like they must have been pulling in cash with that stupid store, the donations, the super chats. Like I've been in their chat and I saw it. It used to just go like that, like a slot machine, with freaking super chats and memberships and buying the stupid window punch things. And I'm sure it's not a cheap hobby. It's probably freaking expensive, but you can afford to help reimburse people for their costs. Yeah, like shit like that. It's just disgusting. It really is. It's one thing to ask for a donation to help another like case they want to go do. That's one thing. But then to just hit up people randomly for like fuel and say it's a donation, it comes across as very scummy. When they did those live streams from his house, he didn't look like he was short of $1. Lived in a giant block house, had a freaking giant tour bus thing, had all the latest, greatest, like freaking technology and stuff. Didn't look like he was short of a quid. I mean, yeah. I hope the other guys who are able to get out make all the money in the world. I hope they do. I hope they can find success by doing it the right way. Glitter is forever says happy birthday, Ping. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to go have a great rest of my birthday. I promise I will. He used some of the guys on merch and wouldn't give them a cut either. Yeah, I'd heard other things too. Like he promised to pay people for coming out. So like sometimes they have to drive like across 4 different states or something like that. And he would promise to reimburse them for fuel and stuff like that, and just wouldn't. He just wouldn't. He said, "Oh, we didn't make enough today or whatever," and he just wouldn't pay him. It's really scummy. Yeah, there was a lot of different things. A lot of things were done wrong, and I hope everyone who was even slightly involved saw how not to do it, and now will do it the correct way and keep the good work going, finding victims, returning them to family, and bringing some closure and great news to people who have long felt like police services have given up on them. There's a lot of people, especially with cars underwater, who feel like the police just don't want to look anymore. And I feel like that's a great thing you could do for people if you had the skill to do it like they do. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you all the well wishes. I really appreciate it. Let me just check one thing before we go. I did hear a beep before and I didn't check it. Oh, I did. It's from my friend. I don't know if I'm allowed to say her name, but I'll just say thank you, KH. I appreciate it. They say, Lordy, Lordy, look who's 40. The best age. Have fun, celebrate all week long. Thank you, my sweet friend. That is very, very kind of you. You didn't have to do that. I don't expect anything from anyone anytime I come on. I come on here because I want to. And I want to hang out with people. But yeah, thank you very much. It's very kind. I want to thank who did we have earlier? JS the cat and Peekaboo Cockatiel. Thank you to those 3 people. It's very kind of you. Party all week. All right, I will. Hey, I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow might be a short show. I've got to go do something in the afternoon, so we may only have like a 1-hour show tomorrow. For the early show. Late show will be a long one, but the early one I've got to leave slightly early. So just be aware of that tomorrow. I will. I'm going to go eat some birthday cake. I've got to go feed the cats too. Peace out. Love you all. Thanks everyone for a great day today. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. And I'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock for more Nights with Ping. Good night.